This is the Negro Ninja. And the day before I dropped the last video, I saw a whore on Instagram preaching again. Okay. And she was all over the place talking about evolution, talking about the shape of the earth, math, and we was basically getting on her, asking her, do she believe in, do she worship Jesus? And her response was that she would never give a man that much power over her. Okay, now I find this whole scenario timely because a few days ago I was reading about Solomon again, and I just got done not that long ago. And we know why Solomon turned over to the dark side. Okay, it's because of bitches that did not worship God, as it says in First Kings 7 through 8. It reads, Then Solomon built a high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, and for Molesh, the abomination of the Ammonites, on the mountain east of Jerusalem. And so he did for all his foreign wives who made offerings and sacrificed to their gods. Okay. Now, Solomon is known for knowing bitch nature to a T, but simply knowing bitch nature does not protect you from bitch. The word of God does. The armor of God does, which Solomon decided not to put on when dealing with these bitches. Okay, you cannot deal with bitches without putting on the armor of God. Okay, and the women that he dealt with is similar to the one that I just described from the Instagram's live stream trying to preach. Okay, now Solomon talks about quarrelsome women, okay, and being vexed by women quite a bit. Okay, and one thing I notice about people that like to vex is they have a lot to say. They got a ton to say, particularly about what you should be doing. All right, so let me break this down even further. Solomon had women that were not of God. Okay, he had 1,000 women that did not worship God. Matter of fact, that was specifically from the tribes God said not to deal with. Okay, all right, now how did the vexing get to Solomon? All right, let me break it down even further. Bitches are the world, and the world is a bitch. Okay, and remember the previous example that when the environment love you, the hoes love you. Okay, now why would one have hatred from the environment because you don't fit in? Okay, you're the outlier, so they see you and they just start, mobbing and attacking. Okay, very similar to those Frankenstein movies where the villagers come and mob Frankenstein's castle. Okay, or like that Michael Jackson Ghost video, where the dude was like, "You up here living by yourself." Okay, he's not a part of them. Okay, so naturally they see you as bad. Okay, but for the most part, they just try to turn you into one of them. And if you ain't gonna be one of them, you're not gonna have no peaceful life. Okay, now taking this back to the wife thing, this inadvertently describes where that saying comes from: happy wife, happy life, which is also proof that one is not even in control if they even have to say something like that. Okay, quarrelsome women do not like to be led, they want to do the leading. Okay, now once again, that's something that Solomon talks about a lot, or at least he described in detail very vividly, because he knows. Okay, now I'm pretty sure that was the young Solomon that even wrote those scriptures about bitch like that anyway. Okay, because young Solomon is very different than the old Solomon. God would not have given the kingdom of Israel to the old Solomon because he was the one that turned away due to his wives. Okay, and God flat out tells you to never date outside of Israel. Okay, but this is modern times. So that pretty much applies to anybody, whether they are Hebrew Israelite or not. Okay, you do not deal with women that worship idols and other gods. Okay, because God knows that man has the need to want to love. Okay, and when a man loves a woman that is not loving him back, he begins to project that onto her, basically making her into something that she is not. Okay, trying to see the good in the situation. Okay, basically doing what the guy on Castaway did to the ball Wilson. He made Wilson into company, his somebody to talk to when it's just a stupid ball, a volleyball, I think. Okay, and in many ways, that is the basis of idolatry. Okay, putting love into a lifeless object, like these particular bitches here. Okay, that is the basis of idolatry. Okay, now going back to the example of you know the environment trying to mob you because you don't fit in. Okay, the only way Solomon was going to get peace with his demonic wives was to be demonic. Okay, so over time, all the quarrelsome behavior, all the vexing started getting to him. Okay, we all reach low points. Okay, and when we hit low points, we need encouragement. Okay, so naturally, we start listening to ideas. Okay, because we are looking for comfort in an uncomfortable situation. Okay, you're drowning and you're grasping for air. You're not picky about where this air is coming from. You just want it in your lungs. You just need some relief. Okay, and that's what it gets you. You want the pain to stop. You want to be able to just breathe. Now, one has to wonder, why would one even be in a situation to where they can't breathe anyway? Why would your head be under the water? Because they're the ones that's putting your head under the water, like waterlogging. Okay, like how they torture them to break them for information. Okay, but in this situation, they want you to listen to the information they want to give you. Okay, are you done? Are you going to listen? Yes, yes, I'm going to listen. Okay, and that's basically what all that is about. Okay, God makes sure He tells men to be careful of the woman they pick because He knows that Satan used the woman to get him to fall in love with the captor. Okay, all right. He basically used holes like that thing on Futurama that sticks to your head and make you dumb. Okay, that's what an ungodly hoe is, and that pretty much describes Solomon's situation perfectly. Wisest man under Jesus, and still succumb to a bitch, and he know everything about bitch nature. Okay, and it's easy for men to just be like, "Oh, I'm mighty, I'm macho, I'm stronger than a woman. What can a woman do to me?" Okay, but if God, the Creator, tells you not to do something, that means you do not do it. Because who knows God's design better than God? You don't know yourself nearly as well as God knows you. Okay, one does not even know themselves as well as they think they do to even get arrogant like that anyway. Okay, now, some would probably say, oh man, you're overthinking that little Instagram situation. But nothing has changed because the state of society is the way it is because of, hoes being in control of the narrative anyway. Like the environment example. If you think about the hood, you see a lot of stupid men in the hood, lots of dangerous men in the hood. Why are they like that? Particularly to appease bitches. That's what bitches want to see. That's what bitches reward. Okay, the hoe is hell. Okay, And you know, she's the typical definition of the word hell, to where people think it's just a paradise for demons or something. And to fit in her world, you know, like how Solomon did, he became they got to be demonic. Okay, because hoes can clean up the hood if they really wanted to by saying she will never fuck a dude that sags his pants ever again in life. She'll never fuck a dude that's out there selling drugs or robbing. Okay, some of the biggest simps in existence are hood niggas. Okay, and you think they are ambitious for wanting a drug empire or whatever the heck they doing illegal, but the true motivation is getting pussy, and that's just the bottom line. Okay, if a chick say Scarface ain't hot, I bet you'll see a lot of less Scarface posters on their wall too. Okay, if bitches said that Jesus was hot, them same niggas will be in church the next day. Okay, and I think I'm gonna end this now. So I guess this will be part one. And this has been the Negro Ninja, bringing you your Negro message for today, Negro out.